And hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are actually doing a take two on our TI7 Compendium predictions. Yesterday, we had the Battle Pass get updated to allow you to choose the actual picks for the tournaments. We did pretty well last time in our qualifier predictions. I did pretty well, I should say. My co-host here, MTarget, played I got a fair number of points. He did reasonably well, but yeah, I hedged my bets. He didn't. Right? Say something.
Pretty much.
I'm stalling on this so you can say something so they can see you.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I was like, okay, well, I'll let you talk and brag. I see how it is.
Well, I didn't want to brag that much. I wanted to brag a little bit, but I was giving you a chance to just be like, no, shut up, you blah blah blah.
Yeah, blah blah blah. Whatever. All right, let's
Yeah,
let's
blah
get
blah blah.
rolling on this. So,
Yeah,
anyways, we've got a little bit more math behind us this time.
yeah, a little bit more math and effort in this one. We're gonna get into it pretty quickly, but just real quick before we actually do, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe because we are going to be here from here until we get bored of it, talking about Dota 2 news. We record weekly-ish. We used to be This Week in Dota 2. Now we're your Dota 2 news. So we do something basically weekly. Subscribe. Do everything that. Anyway, gonna get to it. Gonna share screen, and I had the foresight. The issue with the last time was that my Dota 2 client was bugging out, so it was a matter of sharing screen to screen share. Oops. Now I just copied and pasted everything into Paint, and here are my picks. So I'm gonna start off with teams because these are the ones I like to talk about the most. As you can see, I went heavy on Evil Geniuses. These are teams most likely to win, with EG obviously being the most likely to win team in my mind. You can go with a few different picks. There are a lot of reasonable picks for your top team, including OG, including IG, and you could even make a case for a team secret or on down the list. But I'm going with EG. They're my pick to win. They're pretty darn consistent, and they're not too far removed from winning TI5, which I don't know. I think this might be the year we get a two-time champion, maybe, and our
Certainly
first
possible.
ever, yeah, and our first ever players to be two-time champions in Sumail and Universe. So, Evil Genius is my pick. Team with most kills in a game and teams with highest kill average. I said this repeatedly in our first recording. I'm going to say it again. Virtus Pro doesn't kill you, they kill your entire family. That's why I'm picking them for most kills in a game and team with the highest kill average. They kill a lot of people. Team with the fewest deaths in a game, I'm going with EG. They can play more. They play generally more conservatively, or can play more conservatively than Virtus Pro. I expect that they're going to get a, pretty. They're going to end up with a team that they are considerably better than. They will take an early lead. They will hold that early lead, and they'll have a game where they get like 3 deaths, and that's it. Again, this is a very anomalous category. Like, just to speak about VP, they sometimes pull the trigger on the GG early. They might quit in 30 or in 13 minutes and let somebody in with 0. But in my mind, the safest pick, they should pick that too. Virtus Pro, once again, gets a lot of kills, which means they're also probably going to get a lot of assists. So that's why I've got them with most assists in a game. Evil Geniuses, longest game. That's not an accident, and it's not just because I picked them to win. They are a team that likes to dig themselves into a hole and then climb their way out of it. I expect they're going to be, they could play against a Team NP or some other, or any of the, they could end up in an early deficit against like a Planet Dog or an IG Vitality, a team that they're on paper better than, but they can, drag a game out for a long time, swing it around, and then take the win. We've seen them do it before. We can see them do it again. So I've got them for winning the longest game. Shortest game, Virtus Pro. Again, they go for kills. They go for kills early, and they go for towers early. They are probably your safest bet to try and end a game at like 15 minutes. So, yeah, they're the go-to one for shortest game. Team NP. They, generally speaking, I'm expecting them to go far enough in the tournament where there's a large sample size, but they also have a quote unquote Chinese style, according to the commentators from the qualifiers. They are not. They are very willing to let a game drag on for 90 minutes to 2 hours, and I don't think that that's going to change by the international. I think we're going to see them have a lot of games that go an hour plus, even if they don't necessarily go that. Even if they don't go all the way to the end of the tournament, I think that they're the most likely to have the majority of their games go over an hour. So that's, in my mind, a good pick for highest game length average. Most different heroes, obviously, you have to lean in favor of the team that has, one, a large hero pool, and two, is going to go far in the tournament. And in my mind, that's Evil Geniuses. You could very easily go with Virtus Pro here. There, again, large hero pool. We saw them win the summit without picking the same character twice until, I think, the final game.
The final game, yeah.
Yeah, so they can pick whoever they want and make it work. But going with EG, I don't think they're going to screw around quite that much here. And team with the fewest different heroes. You took issue with this. I still think that LGD is a safe pick, but there are plenty of other options.
Yeah.
You want the key thing there is 10 minimum games played. I think LGD is a safe enough bet to go 10 games, and that's it. And I think I think generally speaking, they'll kind of respect whatever meta kind of shakes out to be the best at TI, because you always see the pre-TI meta, the TI group stage meta, and then the TI meta. I think they're gonna, follow. I think that LGD is the kind of team that would follow the meta, do okay, but then lose after 10 games. So that's why I'm going with LGD here. Any thoughts on my picks?
No, I mean I think that you covered all of the main points in terms of where things could be different. I think that Fnatic or TNC both are very team fight oriented, so they could take most assists over Virtus Pro in a single game. And then fewest different heroes, Infamous, Planet Dog, LGD, Empire, one of those teams, maybe Execration.
Yeah, the key thing there is obviously the 10 games played. We're going to get, I think, 4 teams that play one game. So you have to take that into account. And should also note that there's a lot of room for error in these teams with most assists in a game. It could be anybody, theoretically. You get one really long game that has like a Necrolite and getting Heartstopper assists, and somebody else with a Radiance, and then you're going to get assists on assists on assists.
Gotcha.
It could be anybody. I think VP is the safest bet, but if this was actually betting, I would encourage you to just not bet. Next up, players. So once again, going very heavy on EG with some love for VP, and then a little bit of OG to hedge my bets. Player with the highest kill average, Sumail, mid for EG, really effing good at Dota. He gets a lot of kills. He's very, very high impact, and I expect EG to just generally do well. Again, it could be a bunch of different players. We could see a player do really well and then wash out early, and then that kind of protects his kill average. But I think the safest bet overall is Sumail. Player with most kills in a game. Again, these one game things are borderline impossible to predict. Your safest bet is to just pick either a mid or a one spot for whatever team is there. I'm going with OP. It could reasonably be a bunch of different people. It could be Sumail again. It could be Arteezy. It could be No-Tail. It could be pretty much anybody. I'm going with OP, though. Lowest death average, I think Ramses is a good pick from Virtus Pro.
I've got Raven here. I think that Virtus Pro is just wild enough that they might have some issues.
Yeah, we could see their carry taking some kills. I'm going with Ramses, but yeah, you could pick a lot of different players. Generally, you would want to pick harder carries, the guys who pick anti-mage frequently, or if Morphling ends up being good, in general, the elusive carries seem to be kind of vogue, and there's a very strong possibility that we might see anti-mage or Morphling or any of those kinds of characters become really regular picks. Like that's a gut feeling for me, and Ramses fits that bill for me. But you could pick a bunch of different guys. Highest assists and most assists in a game, I'm going with Fly. You could reasonably pick a lot of different people. Like pretty much any support on a good team. In my mind, you could pick. Agree, disagree?
No, I think I agree. I agree.
The main thing is, pick a support on a good team. Fly is a support on a good team. So, I think Puppy was the most assists in a game, or maybe the highest assists average for the Kiev Major. You could go with him. You could go with a guy like Owie from Team NP. You could go with Zai. You can go with a bunch of different guys, but again, support on a good team is your go-to guy. Highest last hit average, I believe Sumail won that category in the Kiev Major. And he's again a good player on a good team. You could also go with a bunch of different carries, but I'm going with Sumail. I think he's going to be the most consistent in terms of getting farm, and I think EG is going to perform very well at TI7. Highest last hits in a game. Once again, these one game categories are very anomalous. It's kind of a crapshoot, but the number one spot on a really good team, EG is a really good team. Arteezy is their number one guy. Going with Arteezy for the most last hits in a game.
Most last hits in a game, I have Fada. I think that because we think that NP is going late, I think that Fada is going to have just a lot of last hits in that game. They'd like to funnel last hits his way. So
that's also a good pick. Most GPM in a game, once again, Sumail. He's on EG. He's really effing good. He is probably going to pick. We could see him pick a bunch of different characters. Some of those, not necessarily anti-mage. We could see a mid-elk. We could see an Arc Warden, double Midas action, etc., etc. It's also once again a one game category. We could see hypothetically any top or mid or carry player get in there. I'm thinking Sumail though. We could see a bunch of different guys in that category though.
Yep.
There's a bit more nuance in these last two, I think. Once again, highest GPM average. You want somebody who's a really good carry on a really good team. I think No Tail is a good pick here. Again, I'm personally hedging my bets by having a mix of EG, OG, and Virtus Pro. You could go with a few different characters. I think No Tail is the way to go.
Pretty much any hard carry, anybody that's going to be doing a lot of farming. You can throw Raven in there. You could throw in Arteezy. You could throw in Sumail. You could throw in Febby. No, not Febby. Excuse me. You could throw in DJ. You could throw in Burning. Anybody that has a high GPM on average, you can throw in if you think they're going to do well overall. Yeah. So,
general idea, the number one player on a good team.
Yeah.
And this one actually does have some thought that you need to put into it. For most different heroes picked, I'm going with no one from Virtus Pro. Absurdly large hero pool. Virtus Pro will pick anybody, any character, and they'll make it work.
And no one is the guy that tends to get just dropped into that.
Yeah, he'll get put into any given position they put him in. Like he's fine with it. And again, he'll make it work more often than not. Virtus Pro is a phenomenal team. No one has an enormous hero pool. And again, there's some nuance there because we could hypothetically, you have to consider, you could hypothetically see VP go out early, just because you can see anybody go out early. So you want a team that can go late, and you want a player who can play a bunch of guys. No one fits both of those categories.
Yep.
So he's your pick. Switching over to tournament predictions.
This is where we disagree the most, I think. So
I would agree with that. I basically defer to you on everything for the heroes. And there's enough room for error on the teams and players that, again, as we agree, there are probably 5 logical choices for every player in every team category. This one, there's a bit more, consistency tournament to tournament. So there's more valid room to disagree. You know what I mean? Yep. Total games played, I'm going 50 to 54. That's the second highest category.
I get the highest. I think that I need to check the numbers, but it's either going to be 50 to 54 or 55 to 60 in terms of just raw the way the tournament is set up. But I need to take the time to actually go in and check that because you've got 2 round robin groups. So right there, you're already at like 30.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is at the main event.
That includes group stages.
Really?
Yeah, main event. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, because my understanding was that main event is at LAN. That means everything that's not qualifiers. So that means that group stages and then main stage. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then that also means that everything could be thrown out the window.
I think you're wrong. At least on the definition of main event. Ultimately, you want to pick one of the higher ones, and I think it's 55 to 60 is your top one. So
yeah,
either way, you should go with one of those 2. Total number of heroes picked. I'm going with 101. You're going to see a lot of different characters picked.
Again, at least once it's going to happen, especially if it includes group stages where teams are going, okay, we just got to try something.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we saw Virtus Pro win the summit, picking a different character. They didn't pick a single character twice until the very last game. Everybody works in this, and that's a very good thing. And it's going to result in a lot of different comfort picks, a lot of different, less than conventional teams. It's going to be fun to watch, probably, and it's going to probably give you a 101 plus number of heroes picked. Total numbers of heroes banned. You're going to see a lot of different bans, a lot of different respect bans, a lot of different situational bans, and ultimately it's going to end up being a high number. I went with 81 to 90. We could see 80. We could see 91. I think 81 to 90 is the safest range. Agree, disagree?
Probably. I think I agree. Oh, wait, no, banned? Yeah, I agree on banned as well.
Yeah. Total number of kills in a game. I'm going with 91 to 100. I could very easily actually see it being less.
Yeah, I personally, I think this is the high end, but this is where I also feel comfortable sort of quote betting is I think 91 to 100, though it could be the next block down at what is that, 81 to 90. I could see it being that as well. Again, it's a question of how long is that slobber knocker and how hard are the teams actually fighting versus are they turtling and both, dodging each other.
I'm going to quickly just make sure that locked on me now. 80 to 89, 59 is my longest game of the tournament. We could very easily see longer.
I expect it to go a little bit longer. I think we're going to have that solid 90-minute game, 90 to 95 minutes. So I've got 90 to 99. Obviously, if it's 89-54, he's right. But if it's 90.01, then I'm right. So
yeah, we have seen a lot of different. We saw a couple really effing long games in the qualifiers. One between Team NP and Planet Odd.
So
yeah, one between Planet Odd and Team NP, and the other between Vega Squadron and Team Empire, which is what you talked about in our first take. Yeah, Planet Odd versus NP almost went for 2 hours. I think it went for
hour 50.
Yeah, 110 minutes. which is absurdly long, and Vega Squadron versus Team Empire went even longer. We could very easily see a game blow away that 89-59 number. We could. I don't know. I'm thinking that we'll see games settle down a little bit more. But we'll still see a lot of long games. Shortest game of the tournament, 15 minutes to 19:59. I think we agreed in our first take that that's the most likely, that's kind of the safest category to pick in.
You're going to see a fast game, but it cannot be any faster than 15 minutes right now. It's not impossible, but it's certainly close.
I mean, I agree. I could see maybe like a Virtus Pro going down like 0-10 in the first 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just rage quitting, basically, because they have done that before. If not VP, then somebody else. But that's really the only circumstance where you're going to see it go under 15 minutes. You're not going to be able to start taking racks earlier than that.
Yeah.
Between the shrines and everything else, basically, it's really tough to take high ground faster than 15 minutes. So you're going to see, I think we're going to see a game in that 15 minute to 19-minute range, but I don't think we're going to see it sooner, is the big thing. Most kills in a game, 26. We're going to see a bloodbath at some point. A really, really long, prolonged, ugly bloodbath that's really boring to watch, and will get you that 26 plus kills.
I am 20 to 22. I don't see one person getting funneled that many kills. It certainly could happen, don't get me wrong. But personally, I'm in the 20 to 22 range. I might go up to 23 to 25. I haven't decided yet. Right, 26 plus is, again, super legit, but...
you sound very crackly, by the way, so hop out and hop back in.
All
right. Most deaths in a game, I'm going with 15 to 17. We see a lot of very long games lately, but for whatever reason, it always seems to be around that range in every meta. No matter what the meta is, it seems to always kind of hover around that 15 to 17 range for most deaths in a game. It could obviously go to 18. It could obviously go to 14. I'm thinking 15 to 17 is that sweet spot, and it's probably either going to be not much more or not much less than that.
15 to 17, if I remember correctly, is about the same number that we've seen several times in a row.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, it's either going to be 15 to 17 or one of the ones on the border of it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be around there. If it's not that, it could be 18. 15 to 17 is your safest bet, I think. Most assists in a game, I think we're going to get a Necrolite or an Abaddon with a Radiance or some other Radiance.
He hasn't been Necrolite in 4 years.
Ugh. Ugh. Maybe an Outworld Destroyer with a Radiance.
Or Outworld Destroyer in what? Like almost 10?
Man, I don't know.
Because that got changed in Dota 1.
Did it?
Yeah, he was Outworld Devourer when he came to Dota 2, if I remember correctly.
We're going to see a Nerubian Assassin.
Oh, God. You're trying to kill me now.
Going to get a Lothar's Edge.
A what?
A Lothar's Edge.
That's before my time.
Oh, that's the Dota 1 term for Shadowblade.
Yeah, that's way before my time.
Yeah, I'm just being a douche, basically. Like, it's a Shadowblade. Shut your mouth. But yeah, we're going to see Necrophos, whatever. He just gets a stupid number of assists with his Heartstopper aura. Like, in fact, if you're gonna freaking do your battle pass quests, pick Necrolite to get assists because he gets 1 million of them. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna get a really long game with either like a number 3 kind of character that gets a Radiance, or again Necrophos, who could just be in a really long game. I think we're gonna get something over that 36.
Yeah,
and finally, highest GPM in a game, that 1,000 plus seems to basically be a slam dunk at this point. regardless of the meta, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you sound crackly again, and I'll stall for time so you can hop back in and hop back out. Yeah. 1,000 plus. It doesn't really seem to matter what the meta is. We're going to get a 1,000 plus at some point, whether that's an alchemist that gets off to really good, or an alchemist that gets off to a really early lead, or an anti-mage where everything just lines up right. We're going to see a character or a player get over 1,000 GPM. That's just going to happen.
It's going to be close, but it's pretty. So? It's not, because it's not as guaranteed as it was in 6.88 or 8.9. Excuse me, when we had Alex just guaranteed to get it, but it's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, a pretty safe bet. Probably the safest bet of this category. Agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's pretty handily that is the safest bet. So there's a lot of room for error in all these, but if this right here is my lock of the week. Okay, over to you for the heroes.
All right, over to me for the heroes. Let me get that sucker up on screen.
All right. I've got you locked in right now. Everybody's seeing your pretty face. Okay.
So a lot of this is based on the regular not open qualifiers, but the regional qualifiers from
last month.
From last month. So what that means is that, this is based on that. Obviously, some things may change a little bit, and if you think that we're wrong, by all means. But based on those statistics, Sand King most kicked hero by a mile. I think that he offers a lot. I think that he's still going to get played a lot. He may not be some star, but I see it happening. Night Stalker was the most banned hero. I could see some other heroes slipping in here if the meta changes super hard. But for now, Night Stalker, he's at 3-4 position. He provides a lot of scary stuff. I just see it getting banned because he's super versatile. Beastmaster, he was the highest win rate hero just after Morphling, but Morphling was only played once. So, Beastmaster was played in 12 games with an 83% win rating or win rate. So, yeah. Then we've got Slark, highest kill average. Again, Slark just behind Morphling, who went 15-1 in the one game he was played. So, Slark, again, you can put in any hero here that you think is going to be a niche pick that likes kills. Slark, in that case, fits this in both ways. Hero with the highest assist average. Bounty Hunter has disgustingly high assists because of the way the track works, and we're just going to see that go through. Again, if something else changes, quite frankly, I think that's what it's going to be. Lowest death average. Phantom Lancer, again, you need 5 games. Phantom Lancer played in 10, and he and Anti-Mage were the 2 lowest in regional qualifiers. The reason I didn't pick Anti-Mage was because I see several lower teams picking it in that, hey, let's try and make it stage. And, panic picks or whatever for Anti-Mage because they feel comfortable with him and just see them, feeding Anti-Mage away. That said, I think that he's still going to get lots of last hits. So Anti-Mage is my highest last hit average. Again, minimum 5 games, he's going to hit that no problem. And Anti-Mage, especially because he's going to have all those games that are super long, he's going to be fine there, no problem. Highest XPM, Meepo. Again, 5 games played minimum. And Meepo is going to hit those 5 games, I think, where he's going to get picked last. He's going to hard counter stuff, and he's going to blow up and then end the game right before he plateaus. So he's golden there. Most heroes in a single game. Literally pick any hard carrier here you want. Anybody that you think is going to snowball. Right here, I've got Slark. I've been considering switching to Terrorblade, to Anti-Mage, to Medusa, to Morphling. Those are all options. If you think that Sumail is going to pop off on a Storm Spirit, put Storm Spirit in here. But I think that Slark can snowball pretty ridiculously. And then lastly, the most last hits in a single game. I think that we're going to have some game with an Anti-Mage that's going to go stupid long, and the AM's going to get way too many last hits.
All those are valid. I especially like the Phantom Lancer pick. I think that Phantom Lancer is elusive. He is... And he's a niche enough pick that we're going to see him as a counter pick a lot. So he's going to probably be in advantageous positions against advantageous opponents. And he's tough to kill. So I think he's going to just squeak over that 5 games. Or maybe not squeak over, but he's not going to be a common enough pick where we're going to see a lot of just complete throws with him, which might be the case with Anti-Mage. So I definitely like in that spot.
All right.
All right. So that's good. How long was that?
About 30 minutes, I think.
Oh, wow. We did a good job. I think this is good. I should give a note that, don't be afraid to disagree with us. Don't be afraid to pick your own, whatever you damn well please. Because there's a lot of room for.
I'm a fan of watching as many videos as possible and comparing the notes. And when I say as many videos as possible, I mean, look at guys, like us, who we're looking at, we've been watching it a lot. We've been looking at stuff like Dota Buff and sort of pulling math together ourselves. And then also look at guys like Nahaz, who that man builds his own stats tables.
He does. He is a wizard of Microsoft Access.
The man literally does economic statistics for fun, which he should do. He's a freaking economics professor, but so when he does his video, I recommend checking it out as well, just to kind of compare to ours. I think that we're going to be relatively on pace with his stuff. Maybe we're wrong, and maybe we do a second video where we go, this is why I disagree with Nahaz.
Maybe.
I better come loaded for bear for that one, because I know you'll disagree with me, because you'll take his side every time.
Me?
75% of the time.
Wait, who?
In stats, you, Steven Rondina, will take Nahaz's side over mine 75% of the time.
Oh, not necessarily. Like I am both in picking in picking Dota 2 and in picking fights and in picking like anything.
Yep.
I am heavy with 1, the eye check, and 2 on my gut.
Yeah, the smell test is very important here. If any of this doesn't smell right to you, if you go, I don't think that feels good, then pick something else. That's fine. But all of this stuff passes my gut check. Again, we mentioned the ones where we felt a little bit waffly on, but
once again,
fun.
It is for fun, and also any of the one game, like most highest GPM in one game, carry. Or anybody who's a mid almost. Like we can only do so much, so don't feel compelled to rigidly follow what we say. Any other thoughts before we close? Do it, or you'll regret it. Do what I said, not necessarily what he said, because once again, he screwed up the qualifier predictions real bad. I got 2,500 points out of mine. How many did you get?
2,000? No, 1,500. 1,500.
You liar.
That's about right.
Nah,
I would go back and check, but I can't because they removed it. So.
Oh, right, they did. Well, it's still on video.
I was off by one on a lot, but I was right on enough of them that we still ended up getting close.
Yeah, we were. It's on video.
Anyways, doesn't matter. That's the show.
Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at @srondina, at MTarget product.
You boy.
And we're going to be here next week, and probably most of the weeks after, until we get bored of it, talking about Dota 2 tournament results.
I mean, next week we've got DreamHack Atlanta results. Week after is TI.
Yeah.
Week after that's TI. Week after that is we're going to be going right into shuffle season.
We're probably going to see Owie dumped again or something.
You're right, though.
I hope not. I like him on Team NP. It's a fun team.
Yeah, I mean, I like him too, but I'm just saying.
It just seems to happen.
Yeah.
It just seems to happen, that poor guy.
Yep. All right.
See ya. Do all that stuff. Engage. Engagements are important for SEO. Do it.